what would take them 8 weeks to prepare a full analysis of the business, they can now do in a matter of hours. That's the power of technology. And not only can they do it in a matter of hours, but so he has just claimed back in a sort of 7 weeks plus 4.5 days. They can also deliver better insights, better guidance for their portfolio companies and for companies preparing to go to market. Now, that's pretty cool. Hi, this is George Sandman. I'm president and CEO of Growth Drive, and today we're going to take a look at a little look inside our Clarity software. Now, Clarity is, that's a long name, but listen, Clarity is an analysis of strategic capacity and business value that includes planning and execution modules. Okay, so there are 3 levels inside Clarity, and this is not a full tour. We did that the other day. What we're going to do here today, a little impromptu, this is a vlog, silly word, but a video blog. And I'd like to show you how incredibly powerful our other tool, Claire, our LLM, large language model, AI, virtual assistant, how incredibly cool she is, how incredibly powerful, and how much she will help you create better analytics, deliverables, take back some of the time. So I was on the phone. I was on a Zoom call yesterday with an investment banking firm who's a customer that is also operating and that also has a fund, right? So they're operating in the private equity space. And the head of the firm shared with me that what took them before they started using Clarity, what would take them 8 weeks to prepare a full analysis of the business, they can now do in a matter of hours. That's the power of technology. And not only can they do it in a matter of hours, but they're turning out in that amount of time. So he has just claimed back in a sort of 7 weeks plus 4.5 days, right? They can also deliver better insights, better guidance for their portfolio companies and for companies preparing to go to market. Now, that's pretty cool, right? Okay. Now, what are we going to talk about today? If you haven't looked inside Clarity for a while, if you haven't been keeping up, you'll notice that there are a ton of modules. We have level 1 for discovery, level 2 for deep analysis, and level 3 for planning and execution. Now, what we're just going to focus in on today is, what if we grab a report and feed it to AI? What might we get? So, we could look at, maybe we'll do a couple of use cases. Let's start with the level 1 report. So here I am in a demo case. I'm just going to click on the level 1 report and it's loading up. There's a lot here. So when I click print, one of the options that I have is to save it as a PDF. Okay. So let's just save this 22-pager as a PDF. And there is a ton of information here. So let's just save it. We're going to give it a name and we'll just put A1 so that I'm sure it's at the top. Save us some looking around, and this is RST, Ridge Specialty Tooling report, and I'm just going to put in today's date, 10/24/25. Great. That just keeps me sane. All right, so I've saved it. Well, that's cool. Now, what might we want to do? We've done discovery with our client. Now, what might we want to communicate with them? You are getting ready for the next meeting. The client has said, "Wow, this is great. This is mind blowing." Which, by the way, your colleagues are hearing from their clients a lot. What are we going to do in this meeting? So let's go to Claire. Claire is Growth Drive's AI agent. Let's feed Claire. Now you're going to have to forgive me. I did not take typing classes in high school. I should have. I did not. So what might we ask Claire to do? Claire okay. This is just what came to mind. So, Claire, would you please create an executive briefing for my client based on the attached? Please be sure to highlight their value gap, their weak strategic capacity score, and make 3 preliminary recommendations as to where they might want to focus in the near term to begin growing profits and making the business less owner dependent. Now, I've obviously reviewed this report and I know that these are the case. You will know this too. It is very, very straightforward. It's in your face. Okay, so if you can read, you will be able to come to these conclusions. I say that somewhat tongue in cheek, but we have very robust, it's a very robust technology. There's a ton here, and we provide incredible training and very sophisticated support. So let's add a photo or file, and we're going to go up here and we're going to add that report, wait for it to load. I'm going to say, okay, Claire, do your thing. Now, sidebar, Claire is busy being integrated inside Clarity. The need to download and upload was about to go away. Executive brief. Here we go. Now, this executive briefing is designed to summarize their current strategic capacity, assess its impact on transferable business value, and offer 3 actionable recommendations. Here we go, 54 million with 5.1 of EBITDA. Okay, so here we go. We got owner dependency risk, strengthen your senior leadership accountability, develop formalized recurring revenue streams, and systematize operational processes. So this is and turn it into price at exit, next step, etc. Okay, you can turn it into a branded PDF or editable Word doc for client delivery. That's really cool, right? Now, we're not going to take the time to do that, but you can see that in a few moments, we have an executive briefing that we can copy and paste. Remember, AI is a very, very smart intern. It is not your peer, so you have to go and double check the information. All right, so now we're going to, let's do something else. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to say, okay, imagine that we've got that meeting, we've been hired, you've done the level 2 deep analysis. What happens if we do take their level 2 report, and which you'll notice at the click of a button, once you've done the analysis, which is as simple as saying, which is as simple as reading questions and clicking the next button. We're going to take this report. All right. We're gonna download this as a PDF. Now this is 59 pages, and I'll scroll through. Now we're going deep. Okay. Now we're going deep. Summary of analysis, their score, etc. And I'm going to save it as a PDF. And this is, I'm just going to call this A1 RST. And I always put the date on because it keeps me sane. Said I couldn't type. There we go. And now I've downloaded that. We're going to go back into Claire and let's do a new chat with our girl. And we're going to say, Claire, please create. I don't even tell her what Dimension 1 does. In Dimension 1, how do we want to do our sprints? So we know that there are 8 growth driving objectives. We have a year, so we're going to do, why am I doing 5 weeks each? That's a little over a month, guys, right? And that gives me 3 weeks of buffer. 3 weeks of we didn't get it done. 3 weeks for it was Christmas, right? So this is just a good, sane way to do it. Always have fudge time. As with the balance of weeks is buffer. Be sure accountability. So we're going to make primary accountability across the 4 executive functions. And let's see what she does with just that simple. But guys, now you can always iterate, right? So I'm going to add the file here. There's the level 2 report. Concise, clearly explained. And you can tell AI, right? Please ask me any questions you need answered before we get going. So there she, let's see what we got. Simple prompt. Okay, thanks for watching me type. And what is she going to come up with? Not infallible, but Claire is really, really sharp. Once I have your confirmation, I'm just going to say, in the interest of time, make assumptions and get going. Please answer these questions by making assumptions and get going. I could answer each of those questions, but here we go. So we're waiting. We know that AI takes a couple seconds to think. Now I have her in 4.0. We could also have set her up in 5, I didn't. Here we go. She's telling us what assumptions she's making. Here comes the strategic plan. Now check this out, guys. And this is going to be a great first draft. Okay. She's broken them out by quarter. Now look how she's allocated primary accountability. All of these women and men have day jobs, right? So if you put this all on, for example, the CEO, and man, don't clients want to do that? We're failing our client in a number of different ways. So this is being parsed out, and look Look at this. Look at this. This is gorgeous. So I'm not going to read it word for word, but let's go through supporting notes, buffer. So she just created a quick plan, right? And now what is she asking me to do? Would you like a slide ready version or a version that plugged directly into the Growth Drive OS? I can prepare that next. So check it out. Okay. So now she could create, let's see, let's just see if she'll do a Gantt chart. So what you can see is how flexible, right? How incredibly helpful, how efficient, both generating this analysis, which would have taken you 2 hours or so sitting with the CEO, a little longer if you're going to sit with the whole senior leadership team. And now you've gone back to your office and you're creating deliverables. How long have we been here? I'm just going to go over and look at the clock. 14 minutes. Okay, so we're 14 minutes in, and she's going to create some Gantt charts. Bottom line, guys, AI. Look at this. Now, is that perfect? Sure as heck is a great beginning, right? Go in, change the color, hand this to your VA, do it yourself, play around, make sure that this is actionable. But this is, when you can ask her to iterate. I could go in and correct her or say amplify or whatever. If you speak English and you know your way around a strategic plan. By the way, this is also, guys, both of these are very, very tight, meaning, clients, on the one hand, they loved getting, a 59 page, and you could include the level 2 report. It's 59 pages as an addendum, but bullet points speak volumes. I've been a CEO for a very long time. And I can tell you that I want to get into the meat and then hit the person presenting it to me with questions. And you might be able to, you can say, prepare a briefing, giving a question and answer set, etc. So that is just a quick demo of the power of AI and the incredible power of the clarity, strategic capacity, and business analysis and planning and execution tool. Okay. So we have scorecards. She could have integrated this into the business operating system and so much more. Cool. Let your imagination be the limit of what AI can do for you. Now, Claire is being moved inside Clarity. She was born in the lab. The inside version was born in the lab here maybe 3 weeks ago. She is already toddling around and knocking things off the living room table. And she is growing up fast. So this level of functionality, 500,000 words, 300 videos, and more powering this tool. Oh, it's incredible stuff. I could simply ask her, do it again in a longer form with specific. Okay, do it again in a longer form. Linger. To a longer form with specific instructions and explanations. And let's stop and think. Instructions and explanations for the SLT. Assign a KPI to each sprint. I wonder what she's going to come up with. Now curiosity. Is anyone else curious? I am. I sure am. What's she going to come up with? She's thinking. We could have added milestones, dependencies. Okay, dependencies, guys. This is what we call powers and fuels. Powers and fuels. Your sales process can be powered with marketing. Okay. And that sales process fuels potentially recurring revenue, higher margins, higher revenue. So look what she's coming up with. She's got the primary executive start date, March 7th. She's gone back to last year. Again, I could say, hey, do this for 2026. But, she is coming out, allocates full SLT review of execution performance because she understands how our business operating system works. Okay. Would you like the year 2 plan for Dimension 2, a visual Gantt chart, slide deck, whatever? Cool. So you can see, this is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Only from Growth Drive, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that was fun. I hope you got value from this blog video article. We're here committed to your success, committed to your success. Our vision is to help $1 trillion of pre-middle market and middle market businesses increase strategic capacity in the three dimensions of business growth. What is strategic capacity? It measures how well a business can deliver predictable profits, sustainable growth, and transferable value. And I'll end on this. If we agree that transferable business value is the ultimate measure of business success, and further, that the private capital markets can deliver the highest value, then we need to understand what the private capital markets are looking for. And what they're looking for are businesses with high strategic capacity. The private capital markets are looking for businesses that can predictably and sustainably grow free cash flow, FCF. Okay, predictably and sustainably grow free cash flow. And the strategic capacity score, guys, scores how well this business can deliver predictably and sustainably growing free cash flow that will meet the return on investment objectives for the private equity fund. Okay. The private capital markets are like the ocean. They can buoy you and they can drown you. Strategic capacity is fundamental to value creation. All right. I'll get off my soapbox. Thank you. We'll talk soon.